is a group for project where you have registered yourself to this list. Okay, so this list, can you please try to change the group descriptions? For example, you just click here and then change something. You let me know whether you can change it or not for your own group. Okay, so you please help me to try and then let me know while I'm doing the attendance. Okay, thanks, Daniel. So can change, huh? Okay, good. Okay, let's wait for another 3 minutes. Okay, so it's already 11:05. Let's start the class now. Let me ask again, can you hear me clearly? Can you hear me clearly? Okay, so I will record this video as well in case some of you did not receive my notifications that our class today will be online. Okay, so first of all, I would like to apologize that I couldn't have the physical class with you because I have a very last minute meeting at Kuala Lumpur and I will be going to KL after the class. So let's start with what I want to discuss with you today. So if you are here, that means you have read my notifications that the lab test 2 will be postponed to this Thursday. So today there will be no lab test. And what I'm going to do for today, I think roughly half an hour, I will discuss with you the project so that you can start with your project now. Okay, so let's look at the ellipse first. I will start with this ellipse first, and then later on you will know what I'm trying to tell you. Okay, so if you look at my mouse here, this is the group for project where you have registered yourself and your member to form a group. And I would like you to do something after what I'm going to discuss with you. So you click at here, group for project. And you should be able to see something like this. And what I want you to do is later on you change this part, which is the group descriptions. Okay, for example, under this group, so let's say now you want to change, currently it's Rev, Jaslyn, and Nasatra. And after the class, you will need to change this to something else. And what is this will be your project title. Okay, so each group should change this group descriptions column to your project title. And this is very important because you might go into you might go into complete among yourself for a title because the project title should be unique. That means there should not be a duplicate title. Okay, so you change this, and I think you cannot change the group already, the group name. So you change the description here and then click OK. Okay, so now you know where to register your project title, and I will start discuss with you for the project. Change the screen sharing. Can you see the project title? Thank you for the set flag. Can you see the project questions now? Okay. So this is the project, and if you still recall our first lecture, beginning of the semester, I told you that there will be no final exam, but you will have a big group project. This is your group project. So when you see 50%, that means it is quite a lot of things for you to do. And the good news is you will not get any final exam from this subject, but you will have to deliver this group project. So usually assessment like this, you should be able to score better because you have more time to do than doing or sitting for an exam. Okay, so after this, you will go through this. This is just some descriptions, which I don't think very critical for me to discuss, but what follow is the most important thing. So what is this project about? This project is about developing a mathematical related games. So basically you will developing a games, but not any games. It should be a mathematics game using the Python programming language. Don't use other language, use Python language to do this. Okay, so your task is to come up with an idea for a game that involves some kind of mathematical problem or challenge, such as solving equations or manipulating numbers. You may choose to create a game similar to 1024. If you have not played this game, maybe you can try to Google and see what is this game. The name for the game is 1024. So it's a number 1024. Or other existing math game. If you don't like this, you can try other math games, or you may even invent and develop a completely new game. So you can create a new mathematics game that is not available in the markets at the moment or anywhere. The goal of this project is to demonstrate your understanding of Python programming and mathematical concept. So this is the goal. And if you can see here, 1 to 14, this is the list of the mathematics game that I can shortlisted here. I believe there are more, and these are just some example. So after the class now, you can go through this list and see which one you feel confident to do. Then you can get this title and put it in the ellipse title. Remember just now I show you how to change the project descriptions in the ellipse page. So that is the part that you need to register the project. So let's say group 1 already say they want to develop this game 1024. So in the group descriptions under ellipse page, you need to write this. Okay, you need to write this title in your group descriptions in ellipse. The reason is that first come, first serve. So if one of the group already selected this and the second group, when they try to do this, then you cannot register. Or one more thing, I think if you do this in ellipse, I think you may not be able to, I'm not able to see who comes first. Okay, so let me change something. You still register it in the group, but you send me an email with the group title. So with the email, then I have the timestamp. Then I will know who comes first. So if let's say 2 groups send me this title, then I will know who comes first, and those come second has to choose the other. Okay, so yeah, you email me the title. So only one of these should be a project for one of the group. So there will be no duplicate group doing this, doing the same title. As you can see, the list is non-exhaustive. That means these are not all in the market. There are more, I believe. Okay, when you choose the title, make sure you don't do something like a kindergarten mathematics game like sorting, counting apple. So don't do such game. So it's too, it's not suitable for your level. So you should do some more advanced mathematics. Okay, so you just browse through this game and have a look and assign to your group member to go through, and then you can discuss back. So basically, this is everything that I would like to tell you for this project. And the next part is actually the method of project assessment. You will need to know where this 50 from. These are the breakdown. This carefully so that you know where to score properly. First part is the progress presentations. So what is progress presentations? This is like every week from now until week 12 or week 13, I will follow up your progress so that you won't do things in last minute. And you need to report back to me what you have done. And basically, these are some of the tasks to guide you so that you will not stay behind. First, project preparations. That means after this class, you need to prepare your project already. For example, discuss among yourself what type of game you want to develop. Perhaps you want to choose one from here, or you want to create a totally new game. And then task allocations and distribution. This is among yourself. You may say, okay, among this 14 list, you separate maybe four game for member one, another 4 game for member two, another 5 game for the rest, for example. So task distributions. And then you need to do milestone. So what is milestone? Milestone is like when you need to complete what. Then you can put it down like a week. So now it's week 8. So you say by the end of week 8, what you want to accomplish. So that means you want to have your title ready. And then by week 9, what do you want to accomplish? So by week 9, or the mouse maybe you have the design. So you put that down as a milestone, and you can meet like a week thing. And expect the outcome. Before that, you need to have some idea how your games look like. You couldn't develop a game without expect to get us. This is important. So perhaps I will check with you all group for item number 1, which is project declarations. My monitor is a bit small. I might not. Perhaps you can on your mic if you have questions. So I look at the chat and nothing from you. Okay, so I will continue. And second thing, programming. So perhaps this is like maybe 2 weeks from now or 1 week from now, you already start to test up something. Okay, so I know you are quite good in Googling your answer. Okay, we have a question. Do we need to create visual or GUI? It's not compulsory. If you can develop everything without GUI, then should be fine. But with GUI, that will be added value. So yes, I prefer to have GUI, but it's not compulsory. So you should start small first. And if you can get the engine working, then you can start to do the GUI. Okay, or you can allocate this task among your group member. For example, one to create engine, another to create GUI, and so on. Okay, so next is sample coding. I know some of you might be able to download some ready-made games in Python. For example, maybe other than the list here, maybe the game like 243. If you have that ready sample, you can use actually, but you need to justify what is your modifications, and you don't just modify the screen, or I mean, you don't just modify the interface. There must be some engine modifications or flow modification, which is significant to entitle you to get this 50%. So modifying the screen is just what we call risk. So that one is not acceptable. Okay, so how do you know whether you can do this or not? Then that is the time weekly when we meet, you have to consult me. You have to let me know. Then I will tell you whether it is suitable or not. So there will be mark allocated for this. So you don't come and meet me weekly saying that you have nothing to report. So that will affect your mark here. So make sure when we meet, you must have something, and that will guarantee you have a progress. Okay, so back to this sample programming, you have to record down where you get the sample and then what you want to modify. You have to design your project in a modulus. Modulus means you don't write everything in one single function. You have to separate the function. For example, one accomplished task 1, so one functions, or we call one module, and another is for example, that another modules, and perhaps you may have another modules that generate the leaderboard, the ranking for the player, for example. So all has to be designed in the modules. Okay, for this design, you do not need to really spend time to create a very, very nice flowcharts or the can design all this thing. No, you don't need to go to level. As long as you can, you have some component to show that's sufficient. So you can use a Microsoft Word or the PowerPoint to draw one rectangle or one square or one round shape to represent a module. Then that's fine. So your time shouldn't spend on doing this type of design or on programming. So task allocations. Since this is a group project, you need to choose one of the leader and discuss among yourself who are good at what. Then you can assign the task. Okay, so forming a group, I know it's challenging, but this is what I hope you can learn. Later on, I will discuss with you as well. What if you have a member who are not contributing or sleeping partner? So we have some remedy for that. Yeah? And for this progress presentation, we will start. I will start checking your progress on 22nd May, which means is on next Monday. So next Monday, each group will be given 15 minutes, and you report back to me how your task distribution has come out, and then show me your milestone. What is the expected output? How your games look like? If you want to design GUI, how it looks like. So you can put this down for our meeting on next Monday. And then if you move fast, then you can even present to me sample coding. So you say you already found a game and you want to modify from here, and you tell me what is the weakness, and then you see some opportunity to improve the game and so on. So you let me know about this. Okay, so that is for the 10% here. And next part, 10% is for the so you need to submit a report. Report is like 3 to 5 pages. Reports cover important aspect of the project from brainstorming. If you have some sketch using hand on a paper, you may take a photo and then compile it as your report. So, or you design your game in one piece of A4, then you can combine that. So if let's say you have all the drawing, then it may exceed 5 pages. That should be fine. You just put it as appendix. But the core component that involve writing don't more than 5 pages. So you can see the report should include the list of library. So I already introduced to you how to install library like NumPy. So along the way, when you try something, you Google solutions, you will encounter new library that you never see in the class before. So you may use those library, and you need to list this down, those library. And the sample coding, where you get what enhancement you have done, and what is the difference that you have created between the original sample coding and the one that you expect to get. And how to run the program. So this is like a user manual already. You don't have a very complex command. You just have to double click the GUI file, then you can run. So you just let me know. Source of data. If you need some data to generate the randomness, for example, then you have to say where you get this data. If no, then you can ignore this part. And what are the limitations for the project? You want to do this, but you cannot do what you plan. So that will be project limitation. So be very careful on this. Don't give too much limitations. Otherwise, your project is like not really have something that is working. And any other relevant detail. So this one is anything that is important, then you can put it here. So to ensure the readability of your report, please format it properly. Format properly means like the margins, the font size, the all the formatting on your document. Microsoft Word should be doing it properly. So overall, the report should provide a comprehensive review of the project and various components. And the reason is to save for future if there is someone want to continue your project. So I think this report is not as critical as the programming part. And once you have done your project, there will be one final presentation. The final presentation here is different than the progress presentation. Progress presentations is for me to check your progress, and you can ask me for some confirmation whether this is okay to do or not. But for final presentation, it is like you are presenting your end products already. Your program is completed and ready to present. And this final presentation will be given 15 minutes per group. And tentatively, it will be starting week 13 and 14. So once you have done this presentation, that means you have done the subject. So that there will be nothing for you to do anymore. So this will be the last part. So you read carefully this paragraph. Then roughly you'll know what to do. So this will be towards the end. So if you don't have questions, it's okay. You can ask me along the way during the progress presentations sessions. And the most important thing is actually this 20%. This involves programming and question and answer. So let's go through this. All presentation, which is this. This presentation is like you are the one who doing the talking and then demonstrate your games. And once that's done, I will start asking you questions. So each group will undergo evaluation through question and answer based on the assigned role and task. So assigned role and task is the one that you will have set out here. That means you and your group leader already agree. Was a student A do this, student B do that, and the project leader do nothing. So all those agreed, you have to let me know, and I will ask you questions individually. So that means if you are not doing anything, when I ask you, then you will not get the mark. And I will ask you based on the source code. So this is to guarantee that the student is really doing something. Okay, so your mark will be different even though you are in the same group. Because if you don't answer well, that means you the program that you have written or might not be written by you. So make sure if you say this part is from you or this module is developed by you, then you should be familiar with the module. So when I ask you, you should be able to answer. Okay, so that is the question and answer part. And then another aspect of evaluations beside question and answer, this one, I will do it offline, which means I will not ask you anything. I will go through your source code and evaluate based on this components. So for example, are you using the right naming convention? This means are you using the right variable name, or you just use variable X or variable A, B, C, something like meaningless variable. Writing clear and informative comments. Do you complete the program with a meaningful comments? And this will be marked as well. And this is what we call good practice of programming. This ensure your code readability. Okay, so why this is important? Because that makes the collaborations among yourself more efficient. So you write something, like write some program and you don't have any comments, then when your peer try to understand, it will be terrible. So make sure you do these comments and all other common good practice of programming. Also, it is essential to practice modulus. As I told you at the beginning of this project, this discussion just now, your program should be designed function by functions or modules by modules. Because this is not one-man show, so you will distribute the task, and in that case, each task should be specific. And when the task becomes specific, your program can be done in modules or modulars already. Okay. And the last part is it is essential to indicate the source of the original code, because I allow you to find some sample program, but then you have to acknowledge where you get the source code and what you have done to make modifications, which part you have done the enhancement. So besides writing this in the report, the most important thing is you need to indicate it in your program. How to indicate? By creating the comments. So you can say this is the original part. So line 1 until 100 is the original parts, and then starting from line 110 and onwards is the one that you modify. So you just write near the source code or before the functions of that program. So indicate as clear as possible so that I can evaluate you fairly. So if you really start from sample codes and then you have done a significant enhancement or modification, then will be no problem. I mean, it won't be a plagiarism anymore because you have acknowledged the original and the modifications. Otherwise, it may become the plagiarism because you copy work from someone and claim that that is your project. Okay, so acknowledge where you get from, indicate what are the changes you have made, and hopefully it should be significant. Okay, so that will be the programming part. And then the last part, the last 5 marks is the peer evaluation. This one, you will evaluate your friends. So sometimes not all members are very cooperative. So you can evaluate this in the evaluation form. So I will not release these evaluations to you. Then it will guarantee that if you really have a hard time with your member, then you can reflect that in the peer evaluations here. For cases that is even more serious, let's say 3 of you are in a group and only 2 of you are doing the work. The third ones totally don't contribute anything. So what you need to do is you discuss among 3 of you first to get a consensus. If the third one really don't want to contribute and he or she agreed he don't want to contribute, get his or her consensus, and then you let me know. In that case, all the mark from that student who doing nothing will transfer to both of the students who are doing work. So that means that student will get 0 from this project, but 2 of you will get more marks. So don't worry, it's 50. If let's say after the project you already get 40 out of 50 and another 20% come from the third person, so I will add it up so you get 60. So the extra 10% from here, because maximum is 50, but you get 60, I will put it in the column. So that means your grade will become better for this subject. So that is to acknowledge the hard work that done to cover the task that should be done by another member. So that is what I can do to help you if it is really unlucky you have a group member that is not don't want to collaborate with you or give a cooperation. Anything you should let me know. Okay, if let's say during the progress presentations you don't want to talk during this time, you can just let me know and I will set up a meeting with you and see how to solve the problem. Okay, so that is for the peer evaluation. To ensure the group develop a distinct game that I told you before, no 2 groups will be developing the same game like this. As I said, you have to email me and then you register it in the elite page that you have selected the project, and it is based on first come, first serve. Okay, so let me see any other thing. Oh, okay, yeah. Or maybe I'll go back to that after this. Let's finish this part. Okay, so this is important. Make sure first come, first serve to register the title. And what to submit. Like I told you, the final presentations will be scheduled on week 13 and 14. And after that, you will submit everything, including the report in Microsoft Word file and all the source code. So read this carefully, compress these two files or all the file in a zip format with extension zip, and this XXXXX is your metric number. So only one of the metric number will do, and only one member of the group submit to Ellipse will sufficient already. And for the peer evaluations, there will be a form for you to fill. But don't do this first. This will be like a few weeks after you start. I try to see if there is any function in Ellipse that I can do. So this part, at the moment, I just put it in the Google form, but I will let you know again maybe by next week. Okay, so yeah, I put it week 12. So let's see if we can do it or not. Detail will be later. Okay, so that is about the project. Any question you want to ask before I move to Ellipse page? No, so I don't see any. Okay, no questions. Okay, so if no question, I switch back to Ellipse. Can you see the Ellipse page? Yes or no? Okay. Yeah, so this is the one that I showed you before. Let's move back. Okay, so that is for the group project to claim your title. Actually, I create another one. Perhaps I think you can try this as well. Let me set it to show. So this one, state the title of your project. This is like a forum, so maybe you can try to do it here as well. Then this should be having a timestamp. Okay, maybe let me try. Okay, so only have that, but don't have any time. This one might not be good as well. Oh, but I think maybe it will sort according to the order. Okay, so anyway, first register your project in here, and then you email me your title, and the third step is you try to do it here in the forum. So you add the discussions as well, or maybe I think you can add it inside here. Yeah, you can reply here, I think. Oh, there is a timestamp. Yeah, so this we can use this as well. So there are three things you need to do just to ensure that I capture the time correctly. Things number one, register your title here, and then email me the title for second thing. And the third thing is state the title here using this link. So let's use these three for registering your project title. Okay, and I will now give the project for you, so you can download this project and you will upload your answer here in week 14 later on. Okay, so let me see if I have discussed everything. Okay. Oh yeah, back to this project, this one, the project link here. When you register your title here, for example, you put the link here. Maybe let's say YouTube. this link is a link to your games. Okay, so you give your game's title and then you give the link. Okay, you give the link here so that your friends, if not understand your title, then he or she or the whole group can look at the link and then they will know, okay, so this title has been registered by some other group. Then they will not select it again. Okay, so you add this link here for the project title. Okay, so any questions about the project? If no questions, you can digest the project these few days and you can ask me again on Thursday. So now it's about your lab test, which is on this Thursday. So your lab test will be using online as well. And on Thursday, maybe I will allocate 15 to 30 minutes for you to ask questions about the project. After these few days, then you may have some inquiry about the project. So you can ask me on Thursday. So we will start with project inquiry first on Thursday. After that, we will start the lab test too. Okay, so I think that is what I would like to let you know for today. And Thursday, we will do it online class as well. Okay, any question before I dismiss? My group project has only 2%. I noticed that our okay, so 34. Yeah. Let me see the class here. Hold on, let me check how many of you in the class. Okay, so total is 34. Yeah, okay, so we have 10 group of 3 persons and we have 2 group of 2 persons. Yes, that should be fine. Yeah, so for questions from John, yes, you can have 2 persons for your group. Any other questions? Okay, so if no questions, that will be for today, and I will see you in WebEx using the same link again for Thursday class. Okay, thank you.